COVID-19 has disrupted everything in the world. Everything, including the world of movies. Movies that were scheduled to be released in Q1 2020 have now been moved all the way to Q1 2021. Imagine that. Now we have movies having a full year shift. And with that comes a lot of expectations and a lot of anticipations. And on this video, we're going to be looking at movies that we're expecting post-COVID that we're so much hyped about. Welcome to today's episode of Sodas and Popcorn Top 10s. I'm your host, Muyiwa. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so that you don't get to miss a thing from us on this channel. And at number 10, to kick off the list, we have Wonder Woman 1984, the sequel to the 2017 Wonder Woman movie, which was directed by Patty Jenkins, starred Gal Gadot, and grossed well over $800 million. That's close to $1 billion. Of course, a sequel was going to be announced immediately that kind of success was realized. This movie follows the story of Gal Gadot, who acts the role of Wonder Woman, and still follows her in the titular role as she squares off against new villains, Maxwell Lord, played by Pedro Pascal, and also Cheetah, the villainess, who has superhuman strength, agility, and basically she's the arch nemesis, one of the arch nemesis of Wonder Woman, and is played by Kristen Wiig. Kristen Wiig is in a new character here. She's typically used to playing comedic roles, but seeing her for the first time as a villainess and in a very serious role, everybody is looking forward to see how this is going to be depicted. Unfortunately, we were hoping we're going to see Wonder Woman by Q1, Q2 2020, but it's already been moved forward to a date which nobody knows for now. It's been scheduled, it's been delayed indefinitely, but everybody's wishing and praying that by December 2020 this movie will be released, because we really want to see the follow-up to a good entry into the Justice League franchise and the DC universe for the Wonder Woman's personal story. At number 9, we have the horror film Antebellum, which stars Janelle Monáe in the titular role. And the reason why I'm really looking forward to this movie is because the trailer was so damn good. Now, I know for a fact that trailers should not be the defining judgment for movies nowadays, because trailers are so good and then the movie itself ends up being bad. But I couldn't just resist, because this movie had something which intrigues me very much, which is mind-bending mystery. So I'm actually looking forward to this movie because of how the story looks to be told. It's about a lady who is trapped in a horrifying reality and must find a way to uncover how to get out of that place before it's too late. That's all that I needed to be hooked on, and what needed to get me hooked on and expectant of this movie. And I'm looking forward to this movie because it's set to be released sometime very soon in 2020, and hopefully it's going to be showing in Nigerian cinemas. And at number 8, we have the sequel to Kemi Adetiba's 2018 Epic. Epic in the sense that movie was so long. It was all right. I enjoyed it. It could have been a lot better. I didn't like the way the movie ended, but basically we're looking forward very much to the sequel, because we believe that Auntie Kemi will have learned from the mistakes and then is hoping to give us an amazing sequel, which is King of Boys 2. King of Boys 2 is currently in production, and it has added a whole lot of new people to the show. We're talking about people like R&D, we're talking about people like Insert Team, to name a few. And everybody that has been working on the project, that has read the script, are saying that they have never seen anything like it. Now, I'll take their word for it and hope that this is exactly what they say it's going to be. It's scheduled to be released at the end of the year, and we're hoping that COVID is not going to make that shift happen any further. And at number 7 is, I'm not supposed to say his name because I don't want nightmares, but Candyman. And the only reason why this movie is on my list is because it has one person in it, Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele happens to be a producer on this movie, and Jordan Peele has become pretty much like the revelation of our generation, basically. If you're not familiar with Jordan Peele, he's the guy that made Get Out and Us. And those are two very brilliant movies that dwell on certain matters that are very important to blacks, and also is executed in a very, very brilliant way. Candyman looks set to be another entry, an exciting entry into his world of horror movies, and we're definitely looking forward to what himself Win Rosenfield, and Cooper, and director Nia DaCosta are going to be putting out in 2021. The movie was initially going to be released in 2020, but has now been pushed to Q1 2021. Now, that's sad because all the movies we're all looking forward to are just moving forward. At number 6, Coming to America Part 2, or the way it's written, Coming to America, which is basically a sequel to the classic favorite comedy of mine, Coming to America, which stars Eddie Murphy as a prince who journeys to America to find himself, to escape from his reality, and eventually find love. Now, what exactly is the story of Coming to America going to be? We don't really know yet. We just know it's a follow-up to the stories of the first one, and it's scheduled to be released in December 2020, December 17th to be precise. The movie stars a lot. It's pretty much like an ensemble of black stars, which includes Eddie Murphy, Shari Headley, Kiki Lane, Arsenio Hall, who are all returning actors from the original movie, James Earl Jones, Michael Blackson, Rotimi, John Amos, Wesley Snipes, Leslie Jones, and the list goes on and on. I'm definitely looking forward to this movie very much because I'm looking to have a great time laughing. I'll be very disappointed if this movie isn't as good as it's looking to be. And at number 5, we have a sci-fi movie which I've been looking forward to since the images dropped, and they were so amazing. It's the movie Dune, based on the fictional graphic novel by the same title also, which is a fan favorite, and is directed by French-Canadian filmmaker Denis Villeneuve. And this is a movie that we're looking forward to very much because Denis is basically one of the directors in the game right now who are delivering some really amazing movies. We're talking about Blade Runner 2049, we're talking about Arrival, we're talking about Sicario, we're talking about Prisoners. So we're hoping that this new entry to his list of movies is not going to be any different from the previous movies which has delivered, which are masterpieces. And at number 4, we have the next big Marvel ensemble movie, which is basically the Eternals. Now, Eternals, based on the comics, are larger than life creations, gods basically, who pretty much determine what goes on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And this movie has already gathered some of the biggest names around. We're talking about Kit Harington, Game of Thrones lead actor Jon Snow. We're talking about Richard Maddens, Game of Thrones actor also Robb Stark. We're talking about Kumail Nanjiani. We're talking about Madon Seok, Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek, and a list of other stars out. Eternals is scheduled to be released in February 2021, which is basically Q1, and hopefully this is not going to be shifted again. The movie is directed by Chloe Zhao, and we hope that this is going to be another great entry into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And at number 3 is a very weird entry into my list. I'm sure nobody was expecting this, but for very awkward reasons, I'm looking forward to this movie. Yes, it is the movie Fate of Alakada, made by Nigerian filmmaker Tony Abraham. The Fate of Alakada is a comedy set to be released in 2020, hopefully before Christmas, that is a follow-up to our 2017 movie Alakada Reloaded. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of Alakada Reloaded, but I'm looking forward to this movie because of the fact that I know it's going to be some form of comedy, and I'm looking forward to something that is just going to make me laugh. And I saw the trailer and I was looking at it like, okay, this is something that I would rather just go watch as slapstick. I'm expecting not to take my brain into the cinema to watch it. I just want to laugh, and hopefully the sense of humor appeals to me. But I loved the trailer. It looked like something that was going to be funny, and I'm looking forward to this movie to try and see if I'm going to have a great time laughing. At number 2, we have the movie Ratnik by Nigerian filmmaker Dimeji Ajibola, who is best known for making the 2012 action musical Hood Rush, which starred Osi Okeje and a couple of other stars. Ratnik is a sci-fi thriller which has an amazing amount of VFX that has never been seen before from Nollywood movies. Now, mind you, the VFX that we're talking about isn't in any way what you'd expect from an Avengers movie or, a Game of Thrones or anything like that, but from a Nigerian filmmaker and from the shores of Nigeria, a movie shot and completely made in Nigeria. I'm looking forward to this movie very much because I want to see what it's exactly going to be like. What is the movie about? It's about a lady who discovers superpowers and is basically caught up in a town in remote Africa in the early days of the World War III. And basically she has to use her powers to, combat good and evil and, basically save the human race. We're looking forward to this movie very much because this movie has been shifted a couple of times due to various reasons, and now it's scheduled to be released in late 2020 or early 2021. Fingers crossed on this one. And at number 1, we have one of the movies that I wasn't looking forward to before because the first part wasn't all that great. I'm talking about Suicide Squad 2. I hated Suicide Squad 1 because I felt like, what the hell am I watching? But after DC Fandom 2020, where they revealed the cast, which is larger than life. I'm talking about over 20, 30 actors who are massive in their own right, starring in the sequel to this movie. Director James Gunn of Guardians of the Galaxy, who surprisingly is in the opposing side, the DC universe, the Marvel universe, is now on the DC side after there was some conflict regarding some tweets he posted some years ago, and then DC immediately snatched him up to direct the movie Suicide Squad 2 for them. But of course, he's going to also return to direct Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2 at the same time, which means he's directing both a DC movie and a Marvel movie at the same time. This is the first time anything like this is happening. But the reason why I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad very much is because it's looking like it's a large ensemble once again, and it's looking at something that is going to be extremely fun and extremely engaging and extremely interesting to look at. Based on the trailer that was released at the fandom, everybody was blown away and nobody was expecting anything like what was seen. So we have our fingers crossed and we're hoping that this is going to be one of the best movies in the year 2021.
I think it's going to surprise people.
You kind of sit there and go, how did they do that?
It's going to be different from any superhero movie ever made.
And on that note, we've come to the end of today's episode of Sodas and Popcorn Countdowns, a show where we take a look at movies, TV series, and count down some of the best moments in any of this kinds of content. Till next time, I'm your host, Muyiwa, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification icon. Till next time, see you guys around.